Today I'm going to show you how you can make a torn paper print using a stencil. We're going to use 2 sheets of paper. One is going to be your print paper to make the print on. The other sheet is going to be used for tearing so that you'll be able to make the actual stencil with that. Then you're going to need some materials like a pencil. You can use marker, you can use chalks, colored pencil, something that you can use to add colors and lines. So here's a finished example to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. These areas were set with torn paper, and then we colored going off of the torn paper to make the different levels of the landscape. So I'm going to take my manila paper here and tear it into different pieces. You can also do a controlled tear where you hold your hands along where you're tearing it to kind of help you be able to decide what kind of ridges you want. If you're making a landscape, then you're going to want the pieces that are a little bit flatter to go toward the bottom and ones that are a little more rocky to be in the back. That would make it look more like mountains. So for this, I've decided I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate using chalks. I'm going to start with a light color. And with any material you use, you're going to want to start the color onto the torn paper and then pull it away from you toward the top. Because I'm using chalk, I'm also going to use a paper towel to help smear and spread the chalk. Again, starting on the paper, the torn paper, and going away from me. Okay, so then once I lift this off, you can see the defined ridge of where the torn paper was. So I can take my next layer, lay that down, and I'm going to gradually work my way up. So I'm going to go ahead and let's add in another cool color. I'm going to try to keep with a cool color scheme. Cool colors are all your blues, greens, purples. I'm going to go ahead and throw in a little bit of green in here. And then let's also add some more of that light blue that we started with to kind of mute the green so it's not too grassy of a green. And then again, we're going to smear that. Okay, lift this off. Okay, I'm going to pull my paper a little bit closer to me so you guys can see as we go up, farther up. We already used that edge. I'm going to flip it around, use this different edge here. And let's go ahead and I'm going to throw in a darker blue. And then the last layer I want to do is going to be very rocky. So I'm going to finish this off with a deeper purple color. And there you've got a torn paper layered picture, like a landscape. And you can go back in now if you would like, and you can add in other details. Like maybe I would like to put in a moon up here. of the moon. If you wanted to have trees or houses, you could do that. Keep in mind your space. So if it is something that is far away in the distance, it's going to be very small. And if this is truly nighttime, I would actually probably do this more into a black silhouette. Like that. And then if we had a tree that was closer, that's going to be much taller, much wider, and it should show more detail. So you're going to have a lot more branches and twigs because it is so much closer. And don't be afraid when you're making trees. If you choose to make a tree, don't be afraid to spread those branches out and have them grow, because tree branches and twigs and that they try to reach the sun as close as they can. And because it's closer, I'm going to go ahead and throw in a little bit of brown here. Now, if you decide that you want to do this in chalk and you are afraid that this is going to be smearing all over the place, you can use, if you have aerosol hairspray, that is something we can use to help kind of fix the chalk to the paper so that it won't spread too much. And then if you wanted, you could add in details like a little bit of snow on the branches if you'd like, right? And I would probably put a little bit of a shadow that is being cast on the tree. This one looks more like it is on the ground. There you go. So I'm going to go ahead and post a couple of examples of other materials here. Here's one we did this morning using just a Sharpie. So you can see that it started with straight lines. Then as we made the torn paper layers go up, we changed the direction and added more lines with each layer. And then added in a tree, and then there's a little cat at the bottom. This is the original that I showed you earlier. This is all with colored pencil and then mixing in some different colors of colored pencil just at the top of each of the ridges as it went up. And this last example I did using these Play Color Tempera Solid gouache sticks. So we laid each of the layers down and then added a different color as we went up, starting with blue, then tried to make purple with blue and red mixed together, and then here we added in, or I added in green. At the bottom, I thought that the white was a little bit too bright, so I just took some water and kind of spread a little bit of extra color down at the bottom. So when this dries, then we'll have another stencil landscape.